Welcome back to the channel Wisdom of Stoicism. Have you ever noticed how some people just won't let go of your past? No matter how much you've grown, no matter how much you've changed, they still bring up the old version of you. The mistakes, the failures, the moments you wish you could forget. But why do they do it? What does it actually mean when someone keeps reminding you of your past? Is it a sign of concern? Or is there something deeper going on? The truth is, when people hold on to your past, it usually has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. Some do it to control you. Some do it because they haven't moved on from their own regrets. And some do it because they fear the person you are becoming. But here's what the Stoics knew. Your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. In this video, we're going to break down the real reason people bring up your past and, more importantly, how to handle it like a true Stoic. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to respond, without anger, without frustration, and without letting their words hold power over you. So, if you're ready to take control of your life and leave the past where it belongs, let's dive in. The hidden motives behind bringing up your past. We've all been there. You're trying to move forward, maybe even grow into a better version of yourself, and then someone brings up your past. Whether it's a comment from a friend, a family member, or even a colleague, suddenly you're back in a place you thought you left behind. But why do some people feel the need to keep dragging up old mistakes, old failures, or past versions of yourself? What are they really trying to say? Let's break it down. 1. They want to control you. Some people have a habit of using your past against you. Maybe it's a family member, a friend, or even a colleague. They remember the mistakes you made or the times you were weaker, and they bring it up at the most inconvenient moments. Why? Because it gives them power. When they can remind you of your past, they can make you feel small or guilty. This keeps you in a place where they can control how you feel. Think about it for a second. When someone reminds you of your past, how does it make you feel? Probably not great. And that's the point. By bringing up your past, they can manipulate your emotions. But here's where the Stoic mindset kicks in. You are the only one who controls your reactions. You don't have to give them the satisfaction of getting under your skin. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The more you stay calm and composed when someone tries to remind you of your past, the less power they have over you. 2. They haven't moved on from their own past. Sometimes, people who can't let go of your past are actually struggling with their own. Maybe they have their own unresolved issues, mistakes, or regrets that they're not ready to face. Rather than deal with their own past, they project it onto you. It's easier for them to focus on your mistakes than to deal with their own failures. This is what we call projecting. They may have never forgiven themselves for their own wrongdoings, so they bring up your past to deflect from their own pain. This isn't about you. It's about their own internal struggles. And as frustrating as it can be, it's important to recognize that their issues are not your responsibility. The Stoics would say that you should focus on what you can control, which is how you respond. You can't change what's happened to them, but you can decide not to let their past affect your peace of mind. 3. They fear your growth. Let's be honest, change can be intimidating. And when someone sees you growing, evolving, and becoming a better version of yourself, it can make them feel threatened. Why? Because if you're improving, it shows them that change is possible. And that means they might have to change too. When someone keeps bringing up your past, it's often because they're afraid of who you're becoming. They knew you when you weren't at your best, and seeing you level up challenges their sense of stability. If you've made mistakes before and now you're better than ever, it forces them to confront the fact that they, too, could change. But instead of facing that fear, they try to hold you back by constantly reminding you of who you were. This is the kind of situation where Stoicism can really help. You are in control of your growth. You don't have to let anyone, not even friends or family, hold you back because they're scared of what your success might mean for them. Your growth isn't just about you. It's about showing others that they, too, can improve. And if they're threatened by that, then they're the ones who need to work on their own growth. So why do people keep bringing up your past? It's not because they care more about you than you realize. More often than not, it's about control, their own unresolved issues, or the fear of your progress. The important thing is to recognize these motives for what they are, so you don't get caught up in them. The next time someone tries to remind you of your past, remember, it's not about you, it's about them. And now that you know the reasons behind it, you can choose to respond with wisdom, calmness, and strength, just like the Stoics did. What Stoicism teaches about handling this situation. Now, let's dive into how Stoicism, one of the most powerful philosophies, teaches us to handle people who keep bringing up our past. The Stoics were masters of peace, control, and wisdom, and they understood that how we react to others' actions is what truly shapes our experience. So, what does Stoicism say we should do when someone brings up your past? Here are 3 powerful Stoic lessons that can help you stay calm, collected, and unaffected. 1. Accept that people will judge you. The first lesson is simple. People are going to judge you. No matter how much you try to be perfect, no matter how much you grow, there will always be someone who sees your past, not your present. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said something very important about this. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When someone brings up your past, remember, their judgment does not define you. You don't need to defend your past. You don't need to justify your mistakes. Their opinion is theirs to hold, not yours to carry. Instead of getting defensive, remind yourself, you are not your past. Your worth is not tied to mistakes you made years ago. Focus on the person you are becoming today. 2. Respond with indifference. The second lesson Stoicism teaches us is responding with indifference. In the face of judgment, silence and calmness often speak louder than any words could. Seneca, another great Stoic, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." When people bring up your past, they're not making you suffer. Your reaction to them is what causes the pain. Imagine this. Someone brings up your past, trying to push your buttons, trying to remind you of things you've moved past. Instead of jumping in, trying to explain, or getting upset, simply let it go. You don't owe them a response. You don't need to defend yourself. Stoicism teaches us to accept what we cannot control, and their opinions are outside of your control. So, next time someone brings up your past, just smile, nod, and move the conversation forward. You don't need to react. They're the ones stuck in the past, not you. 3. Focus on your present actions. Finally, Stoicism teaches us that our actions today are what truly matter. When someone keeps bringing up your past, don't fight it. Instead, focus on showing them who you are right now. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, believed that we should focus only on what we can control, our actions, thoughts, and emotions. He said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So, let your actions speak louder than any words they throw at you." If someone reminds you of your past mistakes, simply live in the present and show them the growth, maturity, and wisdom you've gained since then. The more you focus on doing the right things in the present, the less power their words have over you. You don't need to explain your growth. Just show it. Actions are the strongest proof of change. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control the past, nor can we control how others perceive it. But we can always control how we react. When people bring up your past, let their words pass like wind. It's your actions today that define you. And always remember, you are not the mistakes you made. You are the person you choose to be now. How to deal with different types of people who bring up your past. We've all been there. Someone brings up your past, and suddenly, it feels like you're trapped in a time loop. The thing is, not everyone who brings up your past has bad intentions. In fact, there are different reasons why people might do it, and knowing how to handle each situation will help you stay calm and in control. Let's break it down. 1. Family members who won't let go. Family. They know you better than anyone, right? But sometimes they hold on to the old version of you, the one who made mistakes, had flaws, and maybe didn't have everything figured out. It's hard for them to let go because they've known you that way for so long. But here's the truth. Your family loves you. but they're human too. They might not see the changes you've made because they're too focused on the past. When your family brings up your past, especially those mistakes or bad choices you've made, don't get defensive. Instead, calmly remind them that you've grown and you're not that person anymore. You can say something like, "I know I made mistakes back then, but I've learned from them. I'm not the same person I was." Keep it short and sweet. It's important to set that boundary, but with kindness. And if they keep pushing, don't argue. Just let them know you're focusing on the present and your growth. Remember, the Stoics teach us that family, friends, and loved ones are important, but we don't owe them an explanation for how we've evolved. We live our lives for our own growth, not for approval from others. 2. Friends who use it as a joke. Friends can be tricky. They might joke about your past, but sometimes those jokes hit harder than we expect. Maybe they keep bringing up that one awkward moment or a silly mistake you made years ago. At first, it might seem harmless, but over time, it gets tiring. Here's the deal. Real friends lift you up, not keep you stuck in the past. If your friend jokes about your past in a way that makes you uncomfortable, don't laugh it off. Set the tone early on. You don't have to make it a big confrontation. Just calmly say something like, "I know we all have embarrassing moments, but I'd rather not talk about that anymore." And if they keep pushing, don't engage. Just move on and change the subject. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control others, but we can control how we let them affect us. If their jokes make you feel small or unimportant, it's okay to walk away from that conversation. Your peace is more important than fitting into someone else's idea of who you should be. 3. People who do it to humiliate you. Now, this is the hardest one. There are people out there who will intentionally bring up your past just to hurt you, to put you down, or to remind you of your flaws. They want to see you squirm, feel guilty, or even ashamed. But here's the thing. Their words don't define you. When someone is trying to humiliate you by throwing your past in your face, the best thing you can do is stay silent. Don't react. Stoics believed that our emotions are powerful, but they don't control us unless we let them. When someone tries to humiliate you, don't give them the satisfaction of seeing you react. Instead, stand tall, stay calm, and walk away. Remember, you are not your past mistakes. You're who you choose to be in the present. So, if someone tries to humiliate you, let your silence speak louder than their words. It's important to recognize that each person who brings up your past has their own reasons. Some may just be struggling to let go of the old you, while others might not have your best intentions in mind. But no matter who they are, Stoicism teaches us that we always have a choice in how we respond. Your growth, your peace, and your future matter more than anyone else's need to keep you stuck in the past. So, next time someone tries to remind you of who you were, remember this: you are not defined by what you did or who you were. You are defined by who you are now and who you continue to become. Stay strong, stay wise, and don't let anyone take that power from you. Why you must forgive yourself first. Forgiving yourself sounds simple, right? But it's not. We often hold on to our past mistakes, letting them haunt us, regret filling our minds, and guilt weighing us down. But here's the thing: forgiveness is freedom. It's easy for people to remind you of what you did wrong. But what they don't understand is that the true prison is the one you create in your mind when you can't let go of your past. When you keep holding on to guilt and shame, you're letting those things control you. And that's not what Stoicism teaches. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This means that the way you think about yourself, your mistakes, and your past is what shapes your life moving forward. If you're stuck in regret, it's hard to see anything else. Think about this for a second. What would happen if you stopped punishing yourself for past mistakes? What if, instead of constantly reminding yourself of your failures, you started seeing them as stepping stones, each one teaching you something valuable? I'll tell you this: the moment you choose to forgive yourself is the moment you take back control of your life. It's like breaking free from chains that have held you for so long. You realize that you are not the mistakes you've made. You are the lessons you've learned from them. Now, forgiving yourself doesn't mean you forget what happened, or that you don't learn from it. No, it simply means you stop letting it define who you are today. It's about accepting that you were human, you made mistakes, but those mistakes do not control your future. Remember this, the Stoics didn't just talk about accepting life's challenges. They talked about embracing them as part of who you are. Every failure, every flaw is just another chance to grow. So, the next time you're stuck in a moment of regret, ask yourself, what did this teach me? What can I do with this lesson now? And then move forward. Seneca said it best. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. What he meant is that the pain you feel about your past is often bigger in your mind than it actually is in reality. When you can accept your past as part of your journey, you stop letting it hold power over you. So here's the challenge. Take a moment right now. Think about a mistake, something you regret, or something someone always brings up from your past. Then, right in this moment, forgive yourself. Let it go. You don't need anyone's permission to heal. The power to move forward is in your hands. And when you forgive yourself, you're not just freeing your mind, you're giving yourself permission to live your best life. Forgiving yourself isn't weakness, it's strength, a Stoic wisdom in action. Because once you forgive yourself, no one can use your past against you. You become untouchable. The power of silence, when to ignore and walk away. Sometimes, the most powerful response to someone bringing up your past isn't saying anything at all. It's walking away, choosing silence, and letting your actions do the talking. You see, silence isn't weakness, it's strength. It's a sign that you're in control of your emotions, that you're no longer tied to the past, and that you refuse to let anyone hold you there. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, often practiced this. He knew that when you respond with silence, it disarms the other person. They're left with nothing to argue against. It's as if you've stripped away their power over you. And that's what silence does. It takes away their power and gives you back your peace. Imagine someone bringing up an old mistake you made. They remind you of a time when you weren't as wise or as strong as you are now. Can sting. But in that moment, you have a choice. You can either react, defend yourself, explain yourself, or even argue your point. Or you can choose to stay silent. When you stay silent, you're not being passive. You're showing that you've grown beyond needing to justify yourself. You're telling them, I don't need to prove anything to you. It's hard to imagine, right? In a world where we're constantly encouraged to defend our reputation, to prove we're worthy, staying silent might feel like giving up. But actually, it's one of the most powerful tools you have. Think about it, when you're silent, the other person is left to dwell on their own words. They're the ones carrying the weight of their judgment. And while they're doing that, you're walking away. You're moving on. You're letting go. And that's what Stoicism teaches us. Don't get caught in the storm of someone else's negativity. When they try to pull you back into your past, just walk away. Let them stay stuck while you continue to grow. Here's the truth, not every battle is worth fighting. In fact, sometimes the best way to win is to refuse to fight at all. When you stay silent, you don't get dragged into unnecessary arguments or hurtful conversations. You preserve your energy for the things that truly matter. Your growth, your goals, and your peace of mind. In the moment, it may feel strange. You might want to defend yourself, explain your actions, or tell them how much you've changed. But remember, when you react to someone else's negativity, you're giving them power over you. You're allowing them to dictate your emotions. And that's the last thing a Stoic would do. So what does it look like in practice? Let's say you're at a family gathering and someone brings up your past. Instead of getting upset or trying to explain why you've changed, just look at them and smile. It's a simple, calm smile that shows you're at peace with who you are now. If they continue, don't engage. Instead, move the conversation forward to something else, something positive. By choosing silence, you show strength. You show that you're no longer the person they once knew. You've grown, and you don't need to convince anyone of that. Your silence speaks louder than any words you could say. And here's the best part. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes. The more you let go of trying to prove yourself to others, the more your inner peace grows. Silence isn't just a way to deal with the past. It's a tool for a better future. So next time someone brings up your past, remember, you don't need to respond. Your silence is your power. Let them talk, but keep walking. Your future is ahead of you, and that's where your focus should be. Here's the truth. Your past is not your prison. It doesn't have the power to control you unless you give it that power. Too many of us carry around old mistakes, regrets, and failures, letting them dictate how we see ourselves today. But the Stoics believed that who you were yesterday doesn't define who you are today, and it sure doesn't decide who you can be tomorrow. Your past is just a collection of stories. Some of them are lessons, others are reminders of things you've outgrown. But none of it should weigh you down. Remember, you are the one who chooses what your story means. The moment you stop letting your past hold you back is the moment you step into your real power. You might have made mistakes, we all have, but that doesn't make you broken. It makes you human. It makes you someone who has learned, grown, and become better. And that's something no one can take away from you. So, the next time someone brings up your past, you don't need to react, defend, or feel ashamed. Smile and let it go. Because the person you are today is far stronger, wiser, and more capable than the one they're trying to hold on to. You don't need anyone's approval to move forward. You've already earned it through your actions, your growth, and your resilience. So, don't let the shadows of your past block your future. Keep moving forward. You have a new story to write. Make it a great one. If this video resonated with you, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep growing together one step at a time.